What's up guys, Tea-Party Percy here and welcome back to a new guide. As always, before we start with the guide, we're gonna talk about the current situation, any news or infos about Lost Ark, and yes, we have something new and most of you guys should know it already, but for those guys who didn't pay attention to Reddit or Discord, on the 17th this month, so September, there's gonna be a showcase and everyone is expecting to hear about the OBT date, and be careful guys, the notice itself or the announcement that they're gonna be a showcase didn't indicate with 100% guarantee that they're gonna be a OBT date in that showcase, but what they're gonna talk about in the showcase is about the data they collected in the previous beta and the balance stuff which they're gonna do and some other stuff. I guess I can teaser here a little bit. Most of you won't know this, but there was already a meeting last month, at the end of the last month, and it was like non-public alpha tester only meeting kinda. We have someone who was there, a Korean guy. Luckily I have some connection there, or a good friend who had connection to that Korean guy who could go to that meeting. I couldn't tell you guys about this meeting earlier because it was kind of like an NDA on it, and I don't want to tell you in details what they talked about in the meeting, but most of the stuff which they talked about in that meeting gonna be actually announced or introduced in the meeting or in the showcase on 17th. So things like guild content, raids, and which class gonna be balanced and nerfed, and something else too. So as I mentioned, I can't go into details. All in all, I just wanted to warn you guys, don't expect from Smilegate to give you a OBT date. If they do, that's really great, but it's not guaranteed. Now, let's jump back to our guide, which is about combat items and life skills. If you didn't check out the Google Doc, which translated all of the combat items and also the life skills and how the life skill system works, you should do it now. I'm gonna link it, of course, in the description, and you can open it and like on the second screen, maybe another tab, and just keep track on it while I explain you guys most of the important stuff about life skills and combat items. Keep in mind, I won't explain where those NPCs are where you can make the combat items. It should be easy to find. They are always in the major cities, and you should also check out my NPC guide, and it will be easier to find those NPC if you have that knowledge from the NPC guide. Okay, now, first of all, as always, how to or where do you unlock the life skills? Don't be afraid. It's not like the other things which you're gonna unlock in Burn with level 50. Nope, that would be too hard or like too late. So you're gonna unlock life skills pretty early at the beginnings, even in Lutheran if I remember correctly. And it's in just a small village. That happened to me in a small village. I'm not sure if it's based on this village or bound on the main quest, but I think it was bound on the main quest, and you will automatically unlock those pretty early, around level 14, 15 if I remember correctly. So it's hard to miss, and not like the other stuff which you have to unlock and pay attention to purple quests. Now before we go into details about those life skills, I should maybe explain you guys how to level up life skills and how the life skill system works. So first of all, you can see your current life skill level on the bottom left corner. You can see your combat level, which is your main level, right from the crossed swords. And a little bit more to the right, you can see a green leaf, which indicates the life skills and the level of it. Below those numbers, you can see the green XP bar. And of course, every time you level up your life skill, you're gonna get life skill points to distribute. We're going to talk about how to distribute and how the system works. Let's talk about how do you get life skill experience and life skill points. So first of all, you can get life skill experience through main quests. Some of the main quests will give you life skill experience and combat level experience. And there are also some life skill quests which will have a green exclamation mark as an indicator on your minimap. So if you want to level up your life skills later on, I wouldn't suggest it from the beginning. Maybe you should focus on your combat level first, and then later you can backtrack and do all the life skills quests just to boost your life skills. But there's also a way to get life skill points. Yeah, no XP, points, directly points to distribute. So how do you get those points? Of course, through life skill potions. There is also combat skill potions. I explained it already in one of my other guides. But similar to that, the life skill potions, you can get those from certain quests. Those quests will have a yellow exclamation mark, but they will also have a circle around it. So keep an eye on those. Don't skip those quests. Those quests gonna give you life skill potions. They can also give you combat skill potion or permanent stat increase potions. So those are important quests. Keep an eye on the minimap for exclamation marks with a circle around it. Then there are also like achievements. So if you finish certain achievements, you will be able to get life skill potions as reward. Last but not least, you can also exchange stuff for life skill potions. You know Lost Ark got a lot of exchange NPCs with a lot of currencies, so you should definitely check out my currency guide and the collectible guide, and you will know there is a lot to do and to collect. Now that you know how to get XP and life skill points, let's talk about how to distribute those skill points. As you can see in this picture, this one is from gathering skill tree, but it's going to be similar for the other life skills. On the left side you can see a 0, a 1, a 2, a 3 and a 4. That indicates the tier of the life skills level. So every time you get life skill points, you can decide which of those life skills you want to level or which you want to focus more. So it is not like that if you put points in a certain life skill, you can't spend points in other. So it's not blocked, so you can evenly distribute if you want, but that is not wise. So basically with life skill points, you can unlock the tiers. For example, if I unlock tier 1, I will get access to the skills right from tier 1 or right from the number 1. So the skill with the boots, it's gonna most likely give me movement speed bonus every time I gather something. As mentioned earlier, all the life skills are translated in that Google Doc, which is linked below. Unlocking tiers gonna cost you skill points, and then unlocking the skills for those tiers gonna cost you also skill points. Keep in mind, you don't have to unlock the skills to unlock the next tier. You only have to unlock the previous tier. So, what is the benefit of unlocking tier? Obviously, the higher the tier, the higher your mats you can farm. So for example, if you want to farm a tier 2 ore or mine tier 2 ore, you need to have mining on tier 2. You don't have to have all the passive skills or active skills from that life skill. You just need to have unlocked the tier. What is the benefit of having all those passives then? Like in most of other games, they're gonna increase the rarity of the stuff you can find out of gathering, your movement speed, which will make you or let you gather more stuff in a certain time, and also the amount of stuff you can get out of one try. So I would suggest you guys to focus on one life skill, which means you're gonna unlock the tier and passives to boost your outcome or the amount of stuff you can get, and put some points to unlock tiers from other life skills which you need, for example, to craft gear, so that you are not only depending on others, you can also keep up your stuff or get your stuff or most of the stuff on your own. I mean, at some point you will need help from other guys, because those passives gonna make it possible to get rarer stuff, and if you just unlock the tiers and not the passive, you're gonna take a lot more time to get the rare materials to craft stuff or cook stuff and make combat items. So there are some other ways to increase the life skills tier without putting life skill points in it. Let's talk first about the tools. As mentioned in my currency guide, the blue orbs, one of the currencies, you should keep them, save them, and don't spend them on gear. You should buy with those blue orbs tools. There are certain NPCs in towns where you can buy blue tools. If you equip those blue tools, for example the pickaxe, it's gonna automatically increase the tier of the life skill by 1. For example, you have mining on tier 2. If you use a normal pickaxe, you can only gather stuff from ores tier 2. But if you equip a blue pickaxe, you can actually gather stuff from ores tier 3. So basically, if you have all the tools in blue, you can automatically gather one tier higher than your current tier on that particular life skill. And the next thing which can increase the tier of your life skills is the crafting armor or the crafting gear. You can craft that by the gear crafting NPC. Also, check out the NPC guide again. With that gear, your tier of the life skill will be increased by 1. What does that mean? So you can focus on one life skill, max it out to tier 4. Maybe they're going to be later higher tiers, but currently we have the highest tier is tier 4. So you put or focus on one life skill and get it to tier 4, unlock the passives, and then try to get all the other life skills to tier 2. With that, you can use the tools and the crafting armor to have actually all the skills on tier 4. But of course, they won't have the passive, only the one life skill which you focus will have all the passives, and you will have more benefits out of it, but you can gather the other stuff too. I hope it wasn't too difficult, guys. As always, if you don't understand that or didn't understand that, you can always ask me in the comments. Now that we have those things done, let's move on to the life skills actually. So, what life skills can you pick or choose? We have gathering, lumbering, mining, hunting, fishing, and archaeology. Each of those life skills will have multiple different tasks, or the raw materials will help you to craft something different. For example, to craft gear, you need gathering, mining, hunting, and lumbering. But only 3 of those is needed for a specific class. For example, the Bard class could need gathering, hunting, and mining to craft the gear, in addition to the World Boss stuff or the Guardian Raid stuff. So just a quick info here. If you get Guardian drops and you want to craft the gear out of the Guardian drops, you also need stuff from life skill or materials from life skill. As mentioned, for example, on Bard, gathering, mining, and hunting. Which means, as Bard, it doesn't make sense to focus on lumbering. You will have less benefit of it. I know most of you guys are going to focus on gear, so that's why I'm telling this to you. And another class, for example, Blaster, could need mining, hunting, and lumbering, which means gathering won't be that much important. Be careful, guys, that was just an example, so I'm not sure which class needs which of those life skills. So check it out and then focus on one of those life skills which you need to craft your gear. Okay, so this is one of the possibilities to decide which of the life skills you're gonna take, but there are also other stuff, the combat items. So I'm gonna go shortly through the life skills which can give you materials to craft combat items and which important combat items you can craft out of those life skills. But I won't go through all of those life skill or combat items which you can craft out of those life skills. You have the complete list on the Google Doc, which is linked below. So for gathering, the most important stuff you can craft out of materials from gathering, or the combat items you can craft, are HP potions and cleanse potions. HP potions are really crucial for Guardian fights. Those combat items are limited used only. As mentioned in other guides or Guardian guides, you can't use your normal potions there, only combat potions, and only a few times. It depends on the rarity of the combat potions, and of course, higher the rarity, more useful it's gonna be in the Guardian fight. Also, cleanse potions can be really useful on later Guardians to cleanse you from CC effects from the Guardian. Then we have lumbering. Lumbering can give you or craft you the potion which can set your identity gauge to 100%, which means you can use it and immediately use your identity spell. Then we have the campfire by lumbering. That one is really important too, so at least one should take it for harder Guardian fights. As soon as the Guardian escapes, someone can put down the campfire and regenerate HP and MP. Of course, that's gonna work on everyone, so only one guy needs to put it down and the full party will get the HP back. We also have the flare gun, which could save you some time. So Guardian fights are time trial kinda, I already explained in the previous guide. And so the flare gun, as soon as the Guardian escapes, one can use the flare gun and you will automatically know where the Guardian is located now. So you don't have to search for it and lose some precious minutes or seconds. With fishing life skill, you can craft shurikens and different bombs. Those are really crucial on some Guardian fights. For example, the Scorpion, and I explained that mechanic in my Guardian guide. So those things can save a lot of time and make the Guardian fight a lot easier, and the chance to wipe also gonna be less when you use those items properly. Then we have the archaeology. Archaeology gonna help you to craft party cleanse, so kind of like the buffed version of gathering stuffs. It is a bomb, if I remember correctly. You throw it and everyone in the AoE will get cleansed, and maybe on some Guardian fights the solo cleanse is better, and some Guardian fights the party cleanse. But the most important stuff from archaeology is Berserk potions. Berserk potions, you know that from other MMOs, gonna reduce your survivability but increase your damage output. Really good if the Guardian or World Boss, whatever it is weakened or downed, and you can use it to dish out a lot of damage in a few seconds. So now we talked about combat items and also the gear crafting life skills. What is left? Yeah, cooking, so buff food. Also important, I don't need to explain why. I guess like in most of the other MMOs, or especially Monster Hunter like MMOs, the Guardian fight, you need really good buff foods, and that's gonna help you a lot later, especially on later and more difficult Guardian fights. And the life skills which gonna provide you materials for cooking stuff gonna be hunting, gathering and fishing. So basically you have those three stuff here, like cooking, combat items and gear. Think about it, which gonna be useful, and pick the life skill which you want to focus on. But not every life skill is equally easy or hard to level up. I sorted here the life skills from easiest to hardest difficulty level up, or find materials actually. The easiest life skills to level up are mining, gathering and fishing. You can find pretty easily ores or fishing spots or gathering stuff in most of the maps, but life skills like lumbering, hunting and archaeology gonna consume a lot more time to get the mats. Especially lumbering, you won't find that many trees like ores or plants. Hunting, you have to find and hunt animals to get it, so it's gonna take also a lot of time. Archaeology, you have to collect bunch of stuff, also search for it of course, and to get decent rewards out of it. It's gonna be hard to level up at the beginning, but I'm pretty sure later it's gonna be a lot more useful. So you can go for the easy stuff, but keep in mind if you want to sell stuff, it won't be that expensive, because most of the guys gonna afford the easier stuff, and also the harder one to level will be also more expensive because there won't be enough resources in the auction house to sell. Keep in mind guys, if you're in a guild, try to divide those life skills equally. We try to, or actually in our guild, we try to divide those life skills depending on how often they are already taken by some of our members. We don't focus on profit here. We don't need to sell or buy stuff if we can provide ourselves within the guild with materials. Okay guys, so that's it for today. And as mentioned earlier, if you have any questions left and if I didn't explain something clear enough, feel free to ask in the comments. Join our Discord, where you also can ask questions which will be answered faster than in the comments. And also you will have the chance later to join our guild as soon as we have some free slots. So until the next guide or news, have a nice day guys, see ya and bye bye, your Tea Party Percy.